Welcome to Midpoint Library Systems Writer's Room. I'm Miss Tamara from Midpoint Library Trenton Branch, and today we're going to talk time and space to write. So what I want to do is recommend each session a book for writers. This is called Pep Talks for Writers, 52 Insights and Actions to Boost Your Creative Mojo. This is by Grant Faulkner, who is the Executive Director of National Novel Writing Month, also known as NaNoWriMo. And it's available in book from Midpoint Library, and it's always available on Hoopla in ebook format. So if you're doing NaNoWriMo, it will get you through November. You can check it out and then check it out again if it expires. So I came across this in October 2017. It's one of my favorite newer writing books. Mostly because of the 52 insights. And what I like about this is there's an index in the back, and I'll show it to you. There's an index in the back. This is my book, don't highlight in library books. But this is my book, and it says, where do you need help? And they give you different topics. And since today we're talking about time to write, I highlighted for you getting the writing done, and make your creativity into routine. And then also I highlighted under here shaping your creative identity, because we're talking space to write, and it's where you work matters. So this is a couple of little things I'll be sharing with you today. And I have a quote from a great science fiction author that you may or may not have heard of. Her name is Octavia Butler, and she said, first forget inspiration. Habit is more dependable. Habit will sustain you whether you're inspired or not. Habit will help you finish and polish your stories. Inspiration won't. Habit is persistence and practice. So how in our very busy lives do we find time to write? Well, it goes back to what Octavia Butler said. It's about habit. It's about sitting down every day and just trying to do words. You know, don't worry about how good they are. Editing can come later. One of the things when I'm really in a writing groove that I do is in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee is pull up my phone, open a blank Google Doc, and just start writing whatever comes to me. It may be one piece of dialogue. It may be an idea. But I've got it there. It's in Google Docs where I can go later and put it into my main writing. So if you like to write on paper, there's always journals, notebooks. You know, if you're a very vivid dreamer, I like to write ideas down from dreams. You know, get in the habit of either having your phone where you can do Google Docs or just keeping an old-fashioned notebook and writing. Sometimes there's that magic contact with pen, pencil on paper. That in our modern age, I'm guilty of it as well, that we kind of forget about just really sitting there handwriting. So however it makes you work, because we're all unique writers, get to it, find a habit, and it's kind of like exercise. Once you do it enough, then it becomes a habit, and you're not saying, oh, I need time to write, I wish I had time to write, and you're not finding excuses, even though there are things that come first, like our families, our friends, our commitments to work, and any activities we do outside of work. So just if you're serious about writing, just start. Even if you write 10 words a day, you've done something. So congratulate yourself for any little bit you've done. And I just want to share a little bit from this chapter 5 called Make Your Creativity into a Routine. This is the book by Grant Faulkner. It's always easy to find better things to do than write. I hate writing. I like having written, Dorothy Parker famously said. Writing can be daunting, frustrating, and even frightening, yet then somehow magically fulfilling. That's why having a writing routine is so important. If there's a single defining trait among most successful writers, it's that they all show up to write regularly. Whether they write at midnight, dawn, or after a 2-martini lunch, they have a routine. A goal without a plan is just a wish, said Antoine Saint-Exupéry. And a routine is a plan of dedication. A routine helps obliterate any obstacle hindering you from writing, whether it's a psychological block or a tantalizing party invitation. And in fact, another name for muse might be routine. So when you work on a regular schedule, inspiration strikes regularly. So that's because you've got momentum going. You've got that habit. It's the same thing if you've ever tried to exercise and you broke that habit. You've got to get back to it. So the best thing you can do for yourself as a writer is just keep trying. Even if you only write 50 words a day, you've done it. Congratulate yourself. Don't beat yourself up over writer's block or anything like that. Just keep swimming, as Dory said in Finding Nemo. So I say just keep writing, just keep writing, just keep writing. So where we work matters. So that's my second part, is talking about our space that we write. I wish that I could show you a picture of my writing room at home. But unfortunately, my room where I write is kind of under some renovation. It needs some severe decluttering. And it's not really my writing room right now. Right now, my writing room is pretty much my kitchen table. And you can make your writing room any place in your house where it can be your dining room, and maybe from 9 to 10 o'clock at night, that's your writing room. Or early in the morning before anybody else in your house is up, it's your writing room. So you can put things around your writing room that don't necessarily have to be Bell's Library of Books, which I would also love because I keep my favorite writing books on my space. So to give you some ideas of a portable writing room, right now we kind of don't have a lot of places to go write because of COVID, but just keep in mind that writing can be as portable as you want it to be, or it can be done in that one little sacred space that you've set aside. So his article that he has on here that I want to share is called Where You Work Matters. So writing is so much about finding the right mood to create. Many factors go into this, but one that we have the most control over is the space where we write. So, do you have a nice desk? Do you use a kitchen table? Doesn't matter. All of us have ways that we work better. So a writer's trinkets, totems, possess a magical aura. So there's different things, and I'll give you some exercises at the end. So I'm just going to share a few of my writing things. I carry my phone with me. If I get an idea, I pop up Google Docs. Some little things around to inspire you are good. I have this mug that my mentor and very good friend made me to encourage me to finish that novel. He said, now you've got a library card to go with it. Now you got to find the book. So my novel, when I get it done, is called Vanish in Darkness, and he put my name on it. It was a very sweet, so it reminded me to give me inspiration to keep going. And then my favorite writing books. These are kind of portable. These are all by James Scott Bell, who was like my most favorite writing mentor. This is called The Art of War for Writers. This is Just Right. This is called Write Your Novel from the Middle. I like this because I'm a writer that bounces around from scenes. I never write anything straight chapter 1 to chapter 2. And then this is my favorite book that you see I have flagged in here. It's called Plot and Structure. It is the best writing book, in my humble opinion, of 35 plus years writing that I have ever found, and I wish it would have existed sooner than 2004. So those are my writing books. You may have your own favorites, but keep those somewhere handy. One good thing to do is when you're finding time to write is avoid rabbit holes. I am good for doing research, and you get distracted getting into the research. You might be in the middle writing something. Oh, I got to look that up. Well, it's easy to go down rabbit holes with the internet. So just unless you're really just on a research day, keep your internet off of Facebook, off of Twitter, off of anything that distracts you, like playing games like solitaire or whatever kind of games you might like to play. You have to know that that's your dedicated writing time. So back to our writing space. You want to make sure you keep hydrated when you're writing. So this is my water bottle. You know, you may have your coffee in it. So you can tell I'm a geek. And these are a couple cool things I have. I have a writing playlist up on my music. Headphones are good because then that blocks out the noise. So I like to write with music. I need music to write. Some people may need exact silence. So if you're limited in where you live or space and maybe you share, you know, you don't want to keep anybody up at night, this little gizmo is really cool. It is a little astronaut USB light for your computer. You can shine it on your keyboard and you can write in the dark. And also, you want to have some place to save your writing. Make sure you always back up your writing. This is my entire writing life on this little flash drive here. I do have some of it backed up, but you need to back this up because if this goes damaged, you've lost all that writing. So, and you can see, you got to keep this safe from your pets because my cat Rumpel played with this. So he's got some little scratch marks on it, but it still works. So just make sure you back up your writing. That's an important thing. And so no matter where you write, it's always good to have some motivations. I'm going to leave you with some exercises from the Pep Talks for Writers. So one is called Get Messy, See What Happens. This is about finding time. So make the decision to write instead of cleaning your house. So did your world fall apart? How much writing did you get done? Did you do the dishes later? I bet you did, and I bet they were none the worse for it. So, you know, if your house isn't a disaster, let it go a while and write and see. So that's one of the exercises I want to leave you with. The next one is called Battle and Obstacle. So write down every obstacle to your writing, whether it's time, money, or something else. How much does it truly hinder your writing? Reflect on how you can overcome it. So in this case, trying to find time to write is like being that main character in your novel. You got an obstacle. If you want to write, you got an obstacle to overcome. And there's one exercise about space, and it is called Decorate for Creativity. So kind of what I just showed you with some of my paraphernalia. What spaces inspire you? What items are charged with creativity? Decorate your desk for the characters you'd like to invite onto the page, the memories you'd like to kindle. So for some examples, in my writing room, I do visual casting of my characters. So I try to put photos up of the different actors I picked for my characters. I also do some Once Upon a Time fan fiction. So my walls have all kinds of Once Upon a Time artwork, and I have my favorite books. I have my J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings books, my fantasy books, my fairy tale books. Anything that inspires me is up there. So that is it for today's Writer's Room. I hope this will help you find that unique writing habit that works for you and to create that special place to write. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please share them on our YouTube or Facebook page. If you have detailed writing questions or would like to share something you've written for critique, I'm always happy to read it. Please email me at tmenninger@midpointlibrary.org. We will provide that link in our presentation. And to keep up on what's happening with Midpoint Library, please like us on Facebook and Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. It's under Midpoint Library System. Thank you so much. See you next time.